healing, both yours and for others. Have you got faith for it? I was talking with a friend over the weekend and he said something really interesting. He said he wasn't seeing God's healing power. I asked why not? And he said something really enlightening. He said this. He said, I blame my lack of faith. What do you think about that? Can you identify? Do you find yourself in the same camp where when you don't see the life of God and the healing of God in a situation, you blame yourself? Do you think your lack of faith is the problem? The apostles said to the Lord, increase our faith. And he, that is Jesus, replied, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, and you can say to this mulberry tree, be uprooted and planted in the sea, and it will obey you. That's Luke chapter 17, verse 5 to 6. I really love what Jesus says there. But I gotta say, when you read it, you can find yourself being really deflated. I mean, wow, right? If a mustard seed can move a whole mountain, then my faith must be even smaller. I bet you need a microscope to see mine. Look, let me help. I want to help you take another look at what Jesus is saying. I want to help you see your faith differently. The disciples asked Jesus to increase their faith. See, I think they were like you and I. They saw the size of their faith as the limiting factor. They saw their lack. Like us, they saw their limited supply of faith as the problem. Jesus is saying, if you listen to him, that it's not about how much faith you have. Jesus is saying it's not the size that matters. Jesus is saying that you have enough. You who possess the tiniest, most microscopic amount of faith, you have enough. He is saying that what you have, your tiny faith, is sufficient. Okay, how on earth can that be? The size of your faith is not the focus. It's what your faith taps into that matters. Your faith, irrespective of size, taps into the same unlimited and extraordinary power as mine. It taps into the very life of God. It doesn't matter who's got the bigger faith. It's what the faith connects to that makes any difference at all. Right, look, everybody's walked through a forest, I'm sure, and seen trees that have grown seemingly straight through rock, pushed huge slabs, tons and tons of rock out of the way, shattered it, broken it. Nobody ever looks at that and says, how big was the seed it came from? We all know the seed was small. It doesn't matter how small. It was sufficient. That's what matters. Tiny, but sufficient. It's the life of God within the seed, the life that God puts into the seed, that's what mattered. Let's look at the verse again. Jesus replied, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mulberry tree, be uprooted and planted in the sea, and it will obey you. Here's something I think that's an awesome way to think of this, and I think it'll help. Try this. When you pray, when you seek to exercise your faith, think of your faith as Velcro, right? Velcro, if you look at it, like really peer at what it's made of tiny, tiny, tiny little hooks. And your faith is a little like this. It's a tiny little hook, and you put it into the robe of Jesus. There's no power in the Velcro in itself. The power is in what it's connected to. Jesus is the one then, with your little Velcro hooks in it, lifts you. If you take that mindset, you're now focused on his love, on his power and his healing. Your Faith is not the focus, and the absence of faith or how small it is or whatever. That's not the focus anymore. Your focus is what you've used it to hook into. Your faith is the hook by which you attach your hope to His strength. And so it doesn't matter how small. You just keep reapplying the hook. Size doesn't matter. What it's attached to, now that's what matters. And a woman was there who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years, but nobody could heal her. And she came up behind him and touched the edge of his cloak, and immediately her bleeding stopped. "Who touched me?" Jesus asked. Well, when they all denied it, Peter said, "Master, the people are crowding and pressing against you." But Jesus said, "Someone touched me. I know that power has gone out from me." Then the woman, seeing that she could not go unnoticed, came trembling and fell at his feet. In the presence of all the people, she told why she had touched him and how she had been instantly healed. Then he said to her, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace." That's Luke 8, verse 43 on. When you give up running down blind alleys and seek only the Messiah, this will be your story. Just one hook into the robe of Jesus Christ, the Messiah, and you've got your faith in the right place. Keep following Him. Keep using your faith as a hook to hope to Him. Keep using your faith to hook your hope to Him. Every day, every hour. Though your faith, through your faith, His power will flow into your life. Through your faith, His power will flow into your words. Through your faith, your life will be infused with His power. Such extraordinary power that even mountains that are resting and on you will split. They'll move aside and you'll be lifted up by His strength, lifted to your feet. Your faith and your persistence will be rewarded now and eternally. Anyone who trusts in Him will never be disgraced.